will talk today about the ELIXIR Slovenia e-learning platform. Together with me there is Jure, so hopefully he will give me some suggestion if I will miss something. And of course the ELIXIR Slovenia e-learning platform was developed with wider ELIXIR Slovenia team. So what will be the content of today's webinar? First I will tell something about the goals of today's presentation. Then I will explain the roadmap. So where is ELIXIR e-learning platform integrated, located within ELIXIR, where we see it. Something about e-learning standards and guidelines that are being developed inside ELIXIR. And then major part will be about e-learning platform functionalities as a service, also shown on a real course examples. I will say something about train ground approach that we started already with some projects inside ELIXIR, and then conclude with future work and final conclusions. So the goals of the presentation is to show actually the researchers or members from ELIXIR nodes the possibilities of e-learning by using an advanced learning management system on the example of ELIXIR Slovenia e-learning platform. And the second goal is to motivate trainers from ELIXIR nodes actually to use more e-learning principles during their teaching or training processes on existing and also during planned courses. What is ELIXIR e-learning platform within ELIXIR? So you see the link above. So it's developed by ELIXIR Slovenia, and this is done within ELIXIR training platform, more specifically inside the e-learning work group or e-learning subtask. We see it as a part of future or establishing training technical infrastructure, and it is complementary to TES. So why complementary? Because learning management system actually covers majority of functions needed in education and training, and nowadays this is used mainly through web interfaces. For example, GitHub, content management systems like Drupal, WordPress, Concrete 5 and others, or aggregators are not learning management systems. To be explicit, so in relation to TES, without learning management systems, TES has no data to disseminate, and vice versa, without aggregators like TES, learning management systems are not visible. So we really need to actually develop together learning management systems or content providers and aggregators or aggregator TES. Why it is being e-learning ELIXIR Slovenia e-learning platform used? It's being used to develop and deliver e-learning training events, synchronous as well as asynchronous. Now something about standards and guidelines. All e-learning materials are SCORM compliant and shareable. So if the idea is actually to develop the e-learning materials, for example, in one platform or in different platforms, but they need to be shareable among learning management systems. We already did a lot of work in defining different kinds of different flavors of e-learning inside ELIXIR, and also we wrote the guidelines for synchronous courses. There in the presentation you have two links that you can check later for definitions and guidelines. How the access to the courses is done inside ELIXIR. Currently we have two modes of access. These are open or registered access, and the different kind of access is enabled based on the preferences of course authors. We are currently working or discussing how to actually enforce the Creative Commons licenses to all courses. The idea is that all future courses should be done under Creative Commons licenses. Of course, those ones that are conformant with the open definition that is also mentioned inside the general ELIXIR guidelines. Now, something about ELP functionalities. There are different parts of functionalities that are covered with the learning management system. So the first part is user management. We are hardly working currently to actually connect registration or log in to the ELP using ELIXIR AI and EduGain. This is practically in the last phase, and we are testing both kind of connections. So that would mean that you would use only your own institutional account to be able to log on into the ELP. Another part of user tools are community tools. I will talk or present them later. These are like chat, forums, and connected things. Another thing are groups. So it's really easy to do different kind of groups. Especially a nice feature is actually that the students themselves can actually enroll in different groups based on the previously set up preferences. For example, teacher says, I wish to have 5 groups of 4 participants, and then actually participants enroll themselves in different groups. Of course, every student can enroll only in one group. It's similar with the cohorts. Next parts are materials. This could be static materials, presentations, all kinds of multimedia formats. On the right side of presentation, actually, you see the number of different activities and resources that are possible within ELP. And of course, the materials can be also interactive. That means that we can make materials outside ELP with different external authoring tools that must be SCORM compliant, and then import them into ELP using SCORM standards. The activities and resources, I will mention just 2 or 3 of them, are, for example, lessons. Lessons are a special type of activity where you actually present some knowledge to the participants through slides, then give them question or a short assessment, and based on the answers of the participant, you then fork the student's knowledge pathway. So that means that you follow how the knowledge of the student progresses, and then you actually, you can, how to say, loop him back to the beginning if the knowledge is not sufficient, or you can go forward. Next type are surveys, for example, short-term feedback and long-term feedback, as they were defined within ELIXIR. And we also include, for the time being, semi-automatic reporting. So based on the collected data from the surveys, the reports are automatically done. I will show that later. And another, how to say, interesting feature is also instant voting. So that means that, for example, you can ask or warm up. We did that on the recent ECCB workshop. We asked participants some warm-up questions, and you instantly get feedback from the participants. This is quite useful, so that you can actually make a progress of training event or workshop based on the participant preferences. Second part of functionalities are embedded bioinformatics tools and services. We put a lot of effort to actually embed terminal with the connection to different cloud and HPC environments. So, for example, we are using this feature a lot with the genome assembly and annotation courses and other HPC-related courses. So that means that the students don't need to install anything on their computers. They actually access the necessary tools via the web interface. They just need access to the internet and e-learning platform. We are doing or developing similar solutions in combination with Galaxy. Another feature, which is not actually the feature of the e-learning platform, but it complements really well e-learning platform, are video conferences. We use that a lot for synchronous courses, and we can use embedded or external different kind of standard video conference systems. The last functionality that I would like to mention are assessments. So we are also developing, or this is actually also in the last testing phase, so that the students actually will be given assessment at the end of the course, and based on their result with this assessment, they will get issued certificate as a PDF file, which will be digitally signed. This is, for example, quite important. I will also show that later. For example, many courses actually need basic knowledge of Linux command line. And we are developing or developed the self-standing asynchronous e-learning Linux course together with final assessment. And actually the positive result on this assessment or certificate will actually be an entry ticket to register for more advanced different courses. Now let's go and see some screenshots. So this is a part for community tools. There is a forum for teachers where teacher actually announce messages to participants. There is discussion forum for question answers. These are standard features that we actually add to every e-learning course. And the third one is chat room. This can be also grouped, so made separate for different groups, and this goes live, so students can live ask or online ask teacher the questions or helper questions, and they get immediate answer back. Next one is actually part, so linked to this introductory Linux command line that we use for genome assembly and annotation courses as a prerequisite. So the knowledge mentioned here should be, so every participant should have this knowledge before attending the genome assembly and annotation course. Then, of course, we can easily make agenda with all kinds of different materials in PDF, PowerPoint, other multimedia materials. We can also actually, through time, open or hide certain materials like exercises. Of course, we first share just exercises with participants, and later we open and give them solutions if they are not fast enough. So next part, again, different kind of slides and exercises. Exercises are actually in the type of lessons, so the students must answer some questions in between, and based on their answer they can progress. Similar wider look on the agenda. Here you see the instant voting question. The QR code is automatically generated so that the students can also scan this and answer with their mobile devices. Then this is again a lesson, some slides from lesson, slide or image of mid-course exam or quiz. This is embedded terminal. Of course, we can also make different design of this terminal. You will see different one later on next slide. Chat room used with one of our Linux command line, extended for advanced courses. News forum, one message from this news forum. And here at the end you see on bigger image all possible activities, current possible activities and resources available within our e-learning environment. A few of them were of course developed by our team, so that they are not part of standard learning management system. For example, the connection with Galaxy. So next slide shows some more complex assessment question where you have image with numbered features on the image, and then student has to select the right answers from a selection of few. So they are not random answers, but students has to know or has to have quite extensive knowledge about this image. Another image of embedded terminal. Actually, this terminal will be used for the genome assembly and annotation course next week, the 4th reincarnation in Montpellier. And we will use terminal connection actually to two different cloud or HPC environments, one based in France and another one based in Slovenia. Another slide about feedback survey and report. We provide, after every course, we provide question based on short-term feedback survey developed by ELIXIR. Of course, we add also several questions specific to the course, but the core set of questions comes from the short-term feedback survey. We also will now use, because enough time passed over the courses, we will also use the same thing for long-term feedback. And from the results, we actually have script that just generate us PDF report with simple statistics based on the data collected. So this can be used also for other courses, not just for those inside the ELIXIR Slovenia e-learning platform. Next slide is about video conferences. So we mainly use the video conferences provided by Slovenian NRIN or partner in ELIXIR Slovenia that allows up to 100 concurrent connections. Many locations with many people can be at each location. It's standard video conference, and the video conference is actually free for ELIXIR. Also, technical coordinators group actually uses this video conference system, and we use it. We used this video conference a few times for synchronous learning. Here I have image as an example of an RNA-seq data analysis course using Chipster that was provided by EIA. So here it is illustrated. area, not on this image, I mean, was in Helsinki, and students were in Prague and Ljubljana. Teacher actually communicates with students via video conference or video connection. Students use at the same time materials and assessment tools in e-learning platform. Teacher can also online supervise students' progress in e-learning platform. Now we are slowly going towards the end. So a few words about train ground approach. We started with this approach. We mentioned it first time and also successfully tested it within staff exchange project with Spain. Train ground, what we see or what we mean with the train ground approach. We actually want to connect resources and services that are not installed in ELP, for example, cloud and HPC-based resources are available through integrated terminal. So second point is all course materials, data, tools, services are seamlessly accessible from one place. Learning management system with no need for extra installations for the course participants. And how to say, even more evolutionary or maybe revolutionary idea is that we want to use the same platform for training and as well as for operational work later or for research. So that means that we need to actually provide larger storage for operational data and also more powerful computers or compute infrastructure for doing the operational calculations. The same principle was of course used also for other courses. Genome assembly annotation, we used this also for workshops. Future work, of course there is always place to actually improve yourself. So we want to do a more user-friendly first page so that the courses would be more easily findable. And we are doing a faceted search interface. Of course, we want to include tagging so that every course would be tagged with keywords, and then faceted search would enable more easy selection. We are focusing on asynchronous courses currently that will include short videos, for example, for beacons. We are developing that kind of course. We also have other ideas about that or other courses. We want to do connection with other additional tools and services, including, for example, larger data archives. We are currently work on the finalization of connection with AI. And of course, idea is that all courses, especially the new ones, would be licensed under Creative Commons license, and that would allow us, how to say, to open them more easily to general public or to ELIXIR community. Conclusions. One of the really important conclusion is that every or any learning management system to be successful need to have continuous administration and maintenance. Luckily, with our e-learning platform, at least until the end of Accelerate, but not just until the end of Accelerate, because we have a national funding. We will be able for next 4 or 5 years to reliably administrate and maintenance the e-learning platform, at least in the current state. ELP is intuitive, stable, reliable, and highly adaptable learning management system, as it was proved by number of already delivered courses. in combination or collaboration with different ELIXIR nodes. I'm using this opportunity to invite you to register existing or new courses that you would like to be transformed into e-learning format via email, or you can register them via web forum, and we will actually help you to do the transformation, of course, at least during Accelerate time for free. So do not hesitate to try it, and we are here to help. So I'm concluding with this image. This is also actually image of second test. This is Transit Exoplanet survey satellite that was just launched. And what I wanted to say that I hope that similar discoveries are underway as also this test will discover with our test and with our e-learning platform. Thank you for your attention.